Hey guys, we're on Challenge All-Stars Season 2, Episode 4. All right, last time we had uh, Jody and Kahada taking out, I honestly can't remember their names, and it doesn't really matter because they're gone now, never to be seen again. So we have, we have damn, we have a little conflict with the Nehemiah and Derek. Because last All Stars, Derek got Nehemiah sent in, which ultimately sent him home. This time, he asked for two people to possibly go in against him because he was part of the losing team to go into elimination. Derek gave him the second person that he asked for in order to mess with him. And he kind of called Derek up out on it. Derek lied, but that was really why he did it. He did it to mess with his head. And they already had a little conflict before, prior to that. And instead of squashing the beef, he's still playing games with the guy. And so they basically had to start forming alliances. Derek is forming alliances with people that stay in his room. And and Nehemiah is forming alliances with people that stay in his room in order to sort of go against each other. And that's just a setup for the conflict that's going to play out in the future. All right, hold on. See if I can get a picture of who. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to get a, oh, there we go. All right, perfect. All right, so this is the alliance of Derek. Derek, Brad, Kohada, MJ, and Daryl. And we know Kohada has a life shield from winning the prior elimination, which means he can use it for anyone in the alliance, including himself. There's a chance they're going in. All right. The other alliance. Let's see if I can get a. There we go. And this is the alliance that they're going against. Nehemiah right there at the head, Letarian, Tech, Melinda, and Steve. All right. So these are the two alliances forming right now. Everybody else is not really forming alliances. They're sort of just loosely doing their own thing. They're playing the friendship game rather than the game. I don't know why there are people that are doing that, but so it happens. All right. All right, so we come to the challenge. Hold on. So the challenge is trivia. Classic trivia. Out of all the challenges I've seen, trivia is the most unpredictable ones because you never know if you're going to get questions that you actually know, as opposed to a physical competition. I don't really care about that, but like trivia is just such a crapshoot that you can lose just because you didn't know. Your question was just that much harder because you didn't know what the answer is going to be. All right. And this is what it looks like. They're going to be up above here attached to these pulleys. What's going to happen is DJ is going to ask them questions, and it could be a bunch of possible answers. So it's going to be a question like, name the top 10 movie stars or whatever, and they have to pretty much name them one by one until someone gets it wrong. And the person that gets it wrong, he presses the button and they get flung off the platform down, hanging down to the lower floor. They're on a, what it looked like a 12-story building. All right, so it's basically a height challenge, but the height factor doesn't come into play until you answer a question wrong. So it shouldn't be that frightening, to be honest. Like, you're just standing on a platform, not even facing the part where you're going to fall. You're facing the opposite way. So it couldn't be more tame, to be honest. All right, so the challenge starts, and Katie right here immediately freaks out. She couldn't do it. Remember when I said the challenge is relatively tame? Even if you're afraid of heights, you don't have to worry about it until you get a question wrong. But before they even got to answering questions, Katie freaks out and she can't do it. Why are you here, Katie? So, so she's automatically going in to elimination. She didn't even do the challenge, just immediately quit before they even started. All right, so the ladies obviously went first. All right, in the end, the winner was Casey, who in previous challenges that she's played quit because of height challenges. She always quit because of height challenges, and she was able to do this one because it's not really a height challenge. It's like you only have to worry about heights if you look. It's just annoying. It's just annoying to see. I mean, they go through so much trouble to make it so much tamer for these old folks, and they still couldn't do it. All right, so Katie won for the ladies. Come to the guys' side, and it came down to two people from Nehemiah's alliance. It came down to Steve and Letarian. But in the end, Steve was the winner. He pulled out the win, which means they can now target the other side, which is really means Derek, because Derek also put up Steve for possible elimination. Even though Steve ultimately didn't get voted in, his target was Steve. And now they have two opposing alliances. Casey also doesn't trust Derek, and she's one of the winners. She's a winner for the female. Steve is the winner for the male. So they're definitely targeting Derek. All right, and he knows that, but he feels safe because Kahada has the life shield, and Jody also has a life shield, and he has good relationships with both of them, and he can use either life shield to save himself. So he's feeling confident. He's like, I have a life shield. They can't even come after me. But then Nehemiah suggested to Steve, why don't we put up Jody and Kahada? That way, they use the life shields on themselves, and as a replacement, then you put up Derek. Is what I would have suggested, but I'm surprised he thought of it, because honestly, I thought they were idiots. I'm not gonna lie. He seems like a nice enough guy, but he doesn't seem like the brightest tool in the shed. But brilliant move there. It was simple, but the fact that he thought of it amazes me. Anybody else, I'm like, it's pretty obvious. But, can never underestimate people, and I underestimated his stupidity. He's not as stupid as I thought. Overestimated his stupidity, I mean, not under. All right, so they played the move. The only hiccup was Katie, who pulled herself out of the challenge and is going in. She has a good relationship with Steve, and he's trying to protect her. And she says she doesn't want to go against Kendall. But anyone else is fine. So, but Casey doesn't really care about that. She's like, we'll put up Kendall because she might vote to protect Derek. So we'll put up Kendall and just not vote her in. Good move. So he compromised on that. But then he put up Ayanna, who, you know what? She is the fattest of the fats of the old ladies, but she's showing herself to be a challenge beast. I'm not gonna hold that against her. He put her up as the other one, so it's going to be Kendall or Ayanna. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for Katie. But he wasn't thinking about it that way. He was just panicked, and he was focused on his plan to get rid of Derek, and he wasn't thinking about Katie. And honestly, I wouldn't think about Katie either. He doesn't owe Katie anything. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Obviously, but she ultimately was upset. All right. So the final nominees after Kohada and Jody took themselves off, and they put up Derek. So the nominees was hold on, was Ayanna. Hold on. Ayanna, Derek, MJ, I think. MJ and who's the other? And Kendall, right. All right, so they go to the votes. Derek is feeling himself. I don't know why he's so arrogant. I mean, he's a 3-time winner, but right next to him is a 4-time winner in Daryl. So he's not the best. I don't, but no, he thinks he's the best. So they go to votes. Votes come down, and it looks like this. As you can see, you have 10 for Ayanna, who's always ready to compete. Well, not in shape to compete, but ready to compete. None for Kendall, 3 for Tyler, and 7 for Derek, which means Ayanna and Derek is going to be competing against the losing team. I forgot to say the men's. For the men, it was Brad that went out first. It was Brad that went out first, which means it's going to be Brad and Katie versus Derek and Ayanna. And if you remember from the alliances, Derek and Brad are in the same alliance. So it's a win-win, honestly. Mostly they're targeting Derek, but it's a win-win. Either way, whoever goes. All right, so immediately the first battle, Nehemiah's alliance is already gaining the upper hand. All right, so they're basically rooting for Brad to win. Competition starts. The ladies go first. And Ayanna is just blowing it out of the water. Hold on, let me show you what the competition is. Oops. Oh boy. All right, so there's 1,000 pounds of sandbags. So it's like 10 sandbags, 100 pounds each, I think. And they have to, all right, see, you show you a picture. That's the sandbags right there. They have to carry them back and forth up a platform and drop them in a hole. All right. Hold on. All right, so they have to drop them in a hole in the platform right there. And after they get 1,000 pounds in the hole, it'll raise up their puzzle. All right. All right, hold on. Get the image of the puzzle. All right, there we go. And the puzzle right there. So they basically have to switch around the colors of the skulls to get all the colors separated on one side. So it's going to be whites, blue, green, whatever color you decide to maximize on whichever side. All right, so yeah, she's obviously starting with white over here, so she'd have to get all these two over on that side by moving these pieces first. All right, and that is how you win. All right, the first winner was Ayanna. It was a big blowout. She was the first one to get her. I didn't think she had the cardio in her, but she was the first one to get her sandbags in there, get a puzzle piece raised up, and the first one to finish the puzzle. She says she does this kind of puzzle at home, so she's probably with her kids or whatever, just like on her phone. So good on her, man. She's killing it. She's killing it in the physical, and she's killing it in the mental. I have nothing to say except she's fat. Then we get to the guys, Brad versus Derek. They're both very close. Brad was able to get his sandbags in the pit first, his 1,000-pound sandbags in the pit first to raise up his puzzle, but he was only first by like a second. But ultimately, Brad was the one to get the puzzle first, and he won, which means they send Derek home. They planned to get him out, and they got him out. He was talking shit the whole time, and he ended up going home because he started something that he really didn't need to. He could have sent in the person that Nehemiah wanted and squashed that beef, and he could have been good, but he wanted to play games, and ultimately he lost because of his own ego. So we have that. I mean, I'm sad to see him go because there's not that many good competitors left in the game, really. And to see a good one go out so early, it's very disappointing. We're just left with the geriatric rest of the house. It's unfortunate. Tech, I like Tech. He's a good guy, but like he's not a good performer, really. I mean, he's not out of shape, but he's not a good performer. He's more just there as like comedy relief. He can go. I don't know. Let me see. See here. Who do I mind? Who do I want to go? John A's pretty good. She no idea. Go. He can go. Go back to his teaching job. He can definitely go. MJ can go. Kendall, I think she's all right. She's probably all right. Kahada, he performed. You know what I mean? He can stay. But a lot of them can go. They're just sad and deflated and old, and it's disappointing to see. But I'm gonna keep watching because it is kind of entertaining. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I enjoy roasting them as well. So until next time.